So I'm still working on this painting. It's getting there. Right now, one thing what I wanted to draw was this logo on the chest. I think it's called Aquila, the skull with wings. And I wanted to show an easy way to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a new layer. I'm going to fill it with a kind of grayish color. I'm going to turn it down. Just so I'm blocking out some of the background stuff here. Actually, I'll put it all the way up on top. And make another new layer on top of that. And in Art Studio Pro, this is really easy. I think there's a similar simple feature in Procreate as well if you're using that. So I'm going to select my pencil. And since this thing is symmetrical, I am going to enable symmetry. This is easy mode for me. And I'll show you, like, it's not going to fit perfectly here, but we'll fix that as well. Okay, so starting out with skull, with a little circle, kind of some teeth sort of stuff down here, a little bit of a chunk for the cheeks. I like to flare out a little bit at the temples. I think it looks cool. Put that under there. Okay. Oops. Then you get the nose in the middle, and I might need to make it a little bit wider. Kind of. There we go. This sort of a thing. But symmetry is great whenever you can use it. I use it all the time. And we'll be able to warp this and maneuver it kind of to get to the right spot. So just sort of fill that all in dark. You gotta remember too, I'm gonna paint over this, so like my sketch isn't super important. I don't think I'm gonna add the horseshoe thing because I think that might just be, I don't know if that's just unique to Titus. And this guy's kind of gonna be a mashup of a bunch of different Space Marines, probably just like a custom looking guy, right? So all I'm doing is looking at this reference, which that app is called VizRef. If you've never seen it, it's, I believe it when I bought it, at least it was just a one-time purchase. It's great. Lets you put a bunch of pictures together, and then sorry, I'm trying to draw at the same time. Lets you put a bunch of pictures together. Just grab them all from like the internet or wherever. You can also export it as one large picture. So sometimes what I do is I take this whole thing, export it as one image, and then import it as a within the reference panel here if I want like the whole full screen while I'm drawing. All right, I'm kind of blocking it out because I figured I needed to do that before I went in and put all these different feathers in. I know it's probably not going to be perfect, so I'm sure there's a certain number of feathers that I need to have, but it's going to be all right. You should also know, in case you care, I have started reading some Warhammer books. I picked up Hell's Reach and Eisenhorn. I think I read one of the Eisenhorn short stories. So far so good. All right, what I'm going to do here, skull's a little big. Grab this dude, transform it. down. There's something in there. I think that looks good. Like I said, probably not entirely accurate. Good enough for me. I dig it. Okay, so obviously this doesn't fit yet. So the next important part is, first of all, I duplicate it because if I destroy it, I can come back to it. I'm going to drop this little solid layer I have here a little bit more so I can see better what I'm doing. Turn off my symmetry and transform. First thing, I'm going to start with the uniform scale. I'm going to kind of switch to, this one lets you do the points individually. Just going to kind of smash it in. I'm trying to kind of guess here where the center is, somewhere about there. I think I need to adjust that collar too. Okay. Last, I can switch over to this warp. Really kind of finagle it in here. I feel like in general, that's a pretty good spot. Next thing I'm going to do, take this elastify, which I think it's like liquefy or warp in Procreate. I'm going to bump out this section because it's not centered because it's sticking up, right? So all this is going to be kind of off center. And when I paint it, it'll also make a little bit more sense here. Cool. That'll do. And then I should turn to it and multiply so I can see it better. I can delete that. I'm going to take this and bring it down. There we go. Put it right there. Now on this layer, I can just start painting. Pick my gold color to start. Can I fill it in? This is how I do a lot of the detail stuff. I think it's better to paint the base first when you can, and then layer in detail. Makes it a lot easier. I'm not going to finish this in the video here because it might take me a hot minute. But let's just get a little bit of a little bounce light in here. Gonna really warm it up. A little redder. Also, if you're curious about these sliders on the right or the left, there's an option in here to use lab color, which is luminosity and I don't know what the other ones stand for. Like the top slider is your brightness, then it's like the complements, right? So you have like red, green, orangey, blue. And I find I get a little bit more uniform colors, a little bit, not uniform, like harmonious, I guess would be the word. They seem to work better together when I use this. And it kind of helps you get like unexpected um, color goodness too. All right, so I think that's like 50% there, probably, right? Um, that a little bit. Another thing you can do is lock your pixels, right? And then pick kind of like your shadow color, and or even just a regular color since it's on multiply. Fill it in. Now that's blue. And you can smash it down, and then when you do that, you just paint right over everything. And then, switching the color of the lines helps it to not dull out and get weird. Because if you mix, especially if you're using like a wet paint, if you're mixing in a lot of black, it's going to kind of look muddy and gross. So always try to use a color if you can. Yeah. All right. That's it. And hopefully in the next one, I've got this lovely swarm down here painted. All right. Later.